What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to a brand new concept style video. First things first, I've got to get out some stuff. Thank you guys for being here. I massively appreciate the support on the channel. The whole FIFA is dead thing is running rampant through our community. I personally have different opinions to FIFA being dead, and you guys are proving that every time you click on one of my videos. In a time that's tough, I'm hoping that I'm giving you guys the content that you want to see. And if you do want to see that, if you want to see more concept ideas, drop a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section the kind of ideas in terms of concept styles that you'd like to see. And also just let me know if you're enjoying the videos, if you're enjoying the channel. I appreciate the support massively. Secondly, this is a concept idea that I'm absolutely sure I haven't thought through thoroughly enough. Jesus, that's hard to say. That I haven't thought through thoroughly enough, where some people will find some gaping holes that I just haven't considered. So please bear in mind that this is just something that I personally would like to see in FUT, or something similar to this that I would like to see in FUT, that would really help the whole grindy, I'm actually worth something to this company kind of feeling from EA. And something that would be much more in keeping with other games and how the general landscape of social gaming is changing recently. Over the last 12 to 24 months have changed dramatically, and so in my opinion the EA are a little bit behind the curve on how things are changing and why they're changing, and hopefully we'll see some big improvements in FIFA 19, and maybe something like this would be pretty sick. So the idea of this comes from like a group of things similar to like the ability to rank guns in Call of Duty, or in Fortnite, things like Battle Pass. Fortnite, you have daily challenges, get 5,000 weapon damage with a gun, land in all 10 different spots on the map that are hotspots for you, collect all the flags. There's just challenges, and I would love to see challenges pertinent to a singular player in FUT that is worth something but doesn't actually change the game dramatically enough to the point where it can be exploited to a huge gain. As I say, this will be easy for people to pick holes in, I'm sure. So this isn't like, I'm not saying like this is coming to FIFA or anything like that, but it's something I would personally like to see. And I also do understand that it will have an adverse effect on the market because of the way that I've set this out. And so with that adverse effect on the market, obviously that would be on EA to then release something to drain coins, like an SBC or a promo, or something, because there's already things in this game that have adverse effects on markets. So the first screen you're looking at is just an Olivier Giroud. Now you're going to see my head go from here to here because I've got screens all across my monitors for me to hopefully be able to explain this to you in the manner that I want and get to you the understanding of why I think this would be amazing. So the first screen you've got is just a regular Olivier Giroud card, an underused card. You never see him in champs. You might have seen his Pushkas card every now and then. You never see him in champs. You never see people use him. He's super cheap. He's just unused. He's one of those cards that you're like, why would I play with this Olivier Giroud card? He's got 3-star weak foot, 2-star skill moves, medium work rates for a striker, which isn't ideal. He's slow as you could ever imagine. His shooting isn't great on the grand scheme of things. But when we go look at his actual in-game stats, there's a few things that are actually quite nice. His finishing is good, his shot power is good, his reactions and ball control are actually very good, which I think are very relevant, vital stats this year in FIFA that some people just don't look at. His heading and jumping is good, his strength is good. Yeah, his passing is very weak, his agility and balance obviously is considerably weak, and he is very slow. Now you're probably wondering what those grey boxes are there for. That will come much more valuable later on in this video, and I hope I can get through this video in a good amount of time. I don't want to be sitting here for 30 to 40 minutes trying to explain what should take about 10 minutes, right? So as we move on to the next screen, you can see there on the top it has player challenges. So as we move on to the player challenges screen, I would love to see these 3 sets of challenges per player across the board. Now don't get me wrong, this will require a lot of framework for EA to put into their game, but just imagine, ignore global challenges for now, ignore weekly challenges for now. Just imagine a daily challenges section. And what I'll do is I'll cycle through the 3 challenge screens that we're going to have here whilst I talk about this, because there's 3 screens, because as you can see the bar, there's too many challenges to fit on the screen, so you'd scroll down to see the other challenges. A daily challenge of score 10 goals. Just all you have to do is score 10 goals with Olivier Giroud and you get 1,000 coins. Now that would be online, so you can't just go offline, smash the AI, score 100 goals and complete this with many players. But Score 10 goals online, you get rewarded 1,000 coins. Assist 5 goals, you get rewarded 500 coins. And play 8 games, you get rewarded with a gold gift pack. Make it untradeable. Make it tradable. Doesn't make any difference. And then another daily challenge could potentially be score a hat-trick, reward for 500 coins. And these daily challenges, if they were assigned to every single player in the game, and not the same daily challenges either. Imagine there's a list of just 100 daily challenges, and your players every day, squad update comes in midnight every day or whenever the daily challenge is reset, and 3 or 4, let's say 3, no, let's say 4 because I've got 4 here. 4 daily challenges randomly get assigned to your Giroud, and then 4 other challenges randomly get assigned to your Bakayoko, and 4 other daily challenges randomly get assigned to your informed Teles. And so you get in these daily challenges where you're able to complete accomplishments for small rewards just for playing the game. And once you've completed your daily challenges with Olivier Giroud, you pop him out of your team, you put a new guy in your team. And what it does immediately through having daily challenges pertinent to a specific player is it gives you reason to play with multiple players across multiple teams from multiple areas of the game. And I think that is amazing. We then look at weekly challenges, and very much the same. Score 50 goals, you get rewarded with a 7.5k pack. Untradeable, of course, and online. It has to be done online because it would be pointless to have, one of the things I didn't like with FUT Birthday was that some of the challenges you could just bang out in like 2 seconds offline or in an online singles match where everyone's spamming on Sidetrap. What you want these challenges to be not too difficult that they're unattainable, but difficult enough or interesting enough that people aren't just going into online singles just to spam off Sidetrap and have the most boring day of their lives scoring 50 goals with Giroud, right? So score 50 goals, a 7.5k pack. Assist 25 goals, a 7.5k pack. Play 25 games over the course of a week with one player. You get a 15k untradeable pack. Now let's be real. We know that those 15k untradeable packs generally don't give out much. Who cares if you get a 15k untradeable pack? Another reward, score 10 headers for a 15k pack. Score 10 long goals or 10 long shots, 10 goals with Giroud from outside the box. And the reason why the reward for this is good is because if you think back to his first screen, his in-game stats, he only has 74 long shots. So the player that Giroud is he's not renowned for scoring long shots. So giving an accomplishment that would improve his that requires him to use long shots is great for this game for multiple reasons, because it actually gives a reason to use different chem styles for different players instead of I just need a hunter on this guy or I just need a shadow on this guy. Because when you say, okay, I need to score long shots with this guy, you actually might put Deadeye on him, because Deadeye gives big curve boost, big long shot boost, and then finesse shots from Deadeye are way, way better. So all of a sudden, you're going to be taking your Hawk or your Hunter or your Engine off of Giroud and putting a Deadeye on him because it benefits the objective that you're trying to complete for that week. So score 10 long goals, rewarded with a Team of the Week pack. And something like that would be amazing. Not necessarily always a Team of the Week pack either, but a FUT Birthday pack, a Team of the Group Stage pack, a Team of the Tournament pack, whatever promos we've had, a Screamer pack. Imagine one week, one of your weekly challenges is score 10 long shots with Giroud, and the reward is a Screamer pack. So what you get is you get a one player pack that will contain a Screamer card. Of course, it will be untradeable, but who cares? What difference is this really going to make to the market over the grand scheme of things? And then if you did get a Team of the Week pack, that would be any Team of the Week player from any Team of the Week, no matter the rating. So you might end up pulling one of those silver guys. You might end up pulling one of those 76 rated guys. And of course, it would be untradeable. So it would just be something fun to go towards doing things with certain players. And what it would do, again, this is my opinion, it would add so much dynamic ability in this game, because think now, everyone uses the same pool of 50 or so players. You see the same teams every week in FUT Champs. Even if you go in divisions, it's the same team. Daily knockout tournaments, it's the same team. With daily and weekly challenges, once you've completed a daily or a weekly challenge with a player, you might want to put them aside and be like, okay, bring a new player in. Let me get some more small rewards. Let me keep grinding to build up my club. And then if you've completed the daily and weekly challenges, maybe you don't want to go on to another player because maybe you want to work towards some global challenges. Now, the global challenges, as you've probably seen through these screens, are something that would actually upgrade the player's stats themselves. Now, what I'd say for this, because I'm sure this has been discussed already in the comments, is when you upgrade a stat for a player, it's only upgraded for you during the time that you have him in your club. If you list him on the market, reset back down to his base stats, right? So if you play, some of the global challenges, play 100 games with Giroud, will give him a +1 acceleration. So if you have +1 acceleration on Giroud, for playing 100 games with him, and then you decide, actually, I want to sell him, when he goes onto the market, he loses that boost, right? So the boosts are only there for the players that are in your club for the times that you've played with those players. As we move on to the next set of screens, the first one we look at is now an 83 rated Olivier Giroud with minor upgraded stats. So when he gets the boost, his card changes almost like a dynamic item, which could be fun for squad builder challenges. So let's say you've got an 81 rated card, you grind the hell out of them, playing games, completing objectives, you make them into an 83 rated card, and then you put them into an SBC. So what? Who cares? It will take you so long to complete those accomplishments to be able to actually get those upgrades that it wouldn't, like, I can't foresee the future. I don't know what kind of impact this would have on a market. All I know is that somebody that plays the hell out of this game and somebody that loves this game, it would be awesome. As we go to Giroud's second page now, you'll see what it would look like after completing several global challenges. So +3 acceleration, +2 overall on shooting, but +5 finishing, +2 long shots. He's got a boost on passing and a boost on defending because of the heading accuracy boost. And as we move on to the global challenges page, the reason why, if you think back to what you just saw on Giroud, the reason why I think this would be amazing in the game is because it won't impact players to make them unplayable. Nobody's going to be sitting there in FUT Champs with their team of the year Ronaldo and their prime icon Ronaldo and, you know, their Ronaldinho and Ruud Gullit going, man, that game was impossible playing against that 83 upgraded Giroud. How have EA let this happen? But as you can see, in terms of completing some objectives, and I'll cycle through the 3 screens for the global objectives as well, play 100 games, 1 acceleration. Play 250 games for 2 more acceleration. It's not breaking the game, but you're being rewarded heavily for playing a considerable number of games with a player. And again, if this was true to every player in the game, then it would give reason and meaning to change teams because of daily and weekly objectives, but to play with players that you wouldn't normally see because you're gearing towards boosting them from global challenges. You know, something that would be interesting for Giroud would be scoring 50 goals, you get 1 on finishing. Scoring 100 goals, you get 2 on finishing. Scoring 500 goals would get you 2 more, like, in the positioning stat. In the other global challenges, you know, scoring 50 long shots would get you +2 long shots. And although on Giroud that doesn't make the biggest difference, I know one of the discussion points that came up when I was talking about this on stream was, but what about, say, like a team of the year Ronaldo, who already has such great stats? What about like a 93 rated Inform Aguero? Well, obviously that would be on EA to tailor the global challenges to a player, right? So someone like Sergio Aguero, who already has really high stats quite everywhere, instead of boosting stats that are already super pertinent to him, you could boost stats that aren't, and it might be less, like, it might make people less enthused to boost that player, but it also might not. So for example, if we actually take the look at someone like I'll take Sergio Aguero as my markings here, because I know his 93 rated card is super good. Okay, so he's got 94 pace and 87 sprint speed. Sorry, 94 acceleration and 87 sprint speed. Like, people that put a hunter on Aguero to get that boost out of him, he goes up to 99 acceleration with a +5 acceleration out of a +15. You know, if he had 10 less acceleration, he'd still get up to 99 acceleration. So EA could actually give boosts to him that, like, because his stats already get capped with chem style, it wouldn't even make any difference if they boosted his pace. You know what I mean? Like, if you played 100 games and got 1 acceleration and moved it up to 95, it wouldn't really make the biggest difference. Also, Aguero has only 88 penalties. So with someone like Aguero, you know, it could be score 50 penalties for +2, score 100 penalties for +4, and score 250 penalties for +6. Now all of a sudden, Sergio Aguero is your penalty taker, and yeah, okay, so it takes his penalties from 88 to 94 or 96 or something. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really make any difference. Like, nobody's going to be sitting there playing against Aguero thinking, man, if that guy hadn't completed that penalty objective, then there's no way that he would have beaten me. Like, you know what I mean? And Aguero has like 70 aggression, so you can give him, you know, commit 100 fouls for +1 aggression. Like, there's little things in the game, even for like the most notable high-rated informs with already very close to max stats. There's so many areas of the game that they can upgrade them that it's not impossible to say that every card has the availability function. Or, for example, for high-rated informs, that, you know, that EA could be coy with it. Instead of, so for a 93 Aguero, instead of having, you know, pages and pages and lists of accomplishments or global challenges like a Giroud would have, Aguero might only have 5, but they might be key. So for Aguero, it literally might be, you know, one of the 5 global challenges could be score 500 goals with his weak foot, and it will give you the +1 weak foot. So he'll go up to a 5-star weak foot player, but after scoring 500 goals with his weak foot online. Again, if you actually can do something like that, I feel like you deserve an upgrade like that, because you put so much time and energy and effort into this card working on that accomplishment, that again, nobody's going to turn around and be like, man, that 5-star weak foot has ruined the game for me, because already players like Kevin De Bruyne has a 5-star weak foot that's a better card than Aguero. Already someone like Heung-min Son has a 5-star weak foot. Christian Eriksen has that 5-star weak foot. There's so many players out there already that are exceptional with the 5-star weak foot that in the grand scheme of things, no one's coming away from this thinking, man, I feel cheated, because there's already so many good, high quality, high caliber players out there that these minor boosts to these players, good or bad, are not going to change the landscape of the game. As we move on to the final set of screens, you can see that the Olivier Giroud is finally an 85 rated, and he's got the red and the gold star there. Now, what does that red and gold star represent? Well, that red and gold star would represent accomplishments complete. I don't think the design is necessarily like what you would see in game. Obviously it'd be a lot more polished and such, but this is a concept idea. Imagine every time you completed an accomplishment, like a global challenge, you just got like a star. So that red star every time you complete a games challenge. So play 100 games, you get a red star. Play 250 games, that red star gets a trim around it. Play 500 games, that red star gets an extra trim around it. So just in your club, you can just kind of see at a glance players that you've built up, that you've worked on, that you've done good. And this Giroud has gone up 2-star weak foot with a 5-star weak foot, and he's got the 2 stars and he's 85 rated. So now you might have completed that Giroud's global challenges. You might want to hold on to that Giroud and continue to do weekly and daily challenges with him. Or you might now think, well, I've upgraded this 82 Giroud to an 85 Giroud. I'm now going to use him in an SBC because I've got some great value out of him because I put the time in to grow his card. As we look at his attribute screen, this is what a completed Giroud might look like. And again, this isn't game breaking in my opinion. Obviously, the better the card, once you take players like Heung-min Sons, like the Ronaldos, like the Gareth Bales, the Lionel Messis, like the Sergio Ramos or the Boatengs, the Eric Bailly's, the Antonio Valencias, these cards, they would look different. But again, this would be important to upgrade the stats relevant to the positions to not make them stupidly overpowered. Not that there's not already overpowered players in the game, but that's what Giroud would look like. And that is not a broken card. 57 pace and 89 shooting. There's already cards out there with better stats than that. 75 passing. There's cards out there with better stats than that. 75 dribbling. There's cards out there with better stats than that. 95 heading and 87 jumping. There's plenty of cards out there with 99 jumping and 99 heading. Boosting his card by these requirements after completing all the global objectives isn't going to break the game in a sense, but for me, stuff like this would be amazing. Because in COD, in Call of Duty, you have this kind of thing for every gun. Get 50 kills with this attachment, get 50 kills without this attachment, get 100 headshots with this gun, get 200 headshots with this gun, get 200 headshots with this attachment with this gun, get 1,000 kills whilst using this perk, get 1,000 kills with this gun, get 500 kills in 2 days with this gun. And although it doesn't, I know I'm boosting stats here and most things in other games are cosmetic, but because there are already better cards out there, and these stat boosts aren't game breaking, I don't think this would be too much of a problem. I don't think after grinding through all of the global challenges of play 1,000 games, score 500 goals, score 500 weak foot goals, score 250 long shots. I don't think after completing all of these, I don't think people would mind. I think if you saw someone with a fully completed card, you'd probably sit there and go, wow, that guy has played the hell out of this game to generate and complete all those global challenges for this card. Anyway, guys, that in a nutshell is the concept that I would like to see something along the lines of in FIFA. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly like this. It's just something that I think would be cool. It would give reason, as I said right at the start of the video, it'd give good reason to play with multiple teams and multiple players in multiple areas of the game, while at the same time giving good reason to continually play the game, like in a week like last week where there was just nothing to do in the week. If you've got a global challenge set that you want to complete for a player, you'll still sit there and grind the hell out of the game because you're like, well, there's no promos going on this week. There's nothing in terms of funky DKT tournament players or anything like that this week. let me pop in my Futmas Andy Carroll and try and get his shooting boosted by 1 by scoring goals with him. And I think it would release and relieve a lot of the pressure of competitive gaming, because, you know, what Foot Champs has created is created a competitive gaming scene where it's absorbed so much of the fun out of the game because everyone's trying so hard to win, that with a system like this, it would reduce that, because you could go into Foot Champs or into divisions or into online singles, and no matter what happens, you would have gained something out of that game. Even if you got pumped 10-0 by a pro player with a prime icon meta team, you would have still accomplished something. You would have accomplished a daily challenge of just playing a game, a weekly challenge potentially of playing a game. You would have completed a global challenge towards boosting that card and completing those challenges. No matter what the circumstance, you would complete challenges and you would build towards a better ultimate team. And I think that would inject fun into this game, and I think it would inject people using different teams and different players, whilst also trying to think, okay, I just love the possibilities, because you could look at it and you could be looking at your two strikers. You could be looking at Jesus and you could be looking at Mbappe. Both of them require different teams built around them because they're from different leagues and different nations. So you might be sitting there and be like, damn man, I've done my daily and weekly challenge for Jesus, but I'm really close to completing a global challenge that will be good for him. But I haven't done my daily challenges with Mbappe, so should I put Mbappe into my team to do the daily challenges, or should I keep playing with Jesus to complete some global challenges? And it just gives you reason to play the game, in my opinion. That, guys, is my concept idea for today. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say about this. I'm absolutely certain that multiple people won't like this idea, and I'm happy to discuss ins and outs of whys, whats, and wherefores. You know, this is just my opinion of something that will add some depth to the game and add some enjoyment levels to the game. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.